Now, first
Mm-hmm.
of all,
Mm-hmm.
what is an automation testing? I have three questions for you.
Okay.
What is automation testing? Purpose of automation testing, advantages of automation testing. What is an automation testing?
What is an automation testing? So, testing is basically to find a defect in a product,
Hmm.
and
Okay,
automation testing would be something that you you start a program and that program runs and finds the defect on the
okay,
product. Some
fine. So, but we are not here to finding out a defect of a product. We are here to find out a bug in an application,
Yes.
right? So, the
Mm-hmm.
terminology, whatever you use, is going to change the meaning of your sentence, right?
Okay.
So we are
Mm-hmm.
finding out the issues related to the functionalities of the application, right? Which we can call it as
Okay.
an validation
Makes
comes
sense.
under testing, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Defect is the one where it is going to get an issue or we are going to get an issue after the product is in live. Whenever the
Okay.
customer or end user is using the application or the product and the customer or the end user is facing any issues with respect to the application or the product, then we can call it a defect.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Okay.
even after
Yes.
tested, we got the issue. That is a defect. At the time of
Mm-hmm.
testing, if we got an issue, that is a bug, right? As a
Correct. Correct.
testers, we are here to find out the issues while testing. Okay, right.
Correct.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
so automation testing is nothing but converting a manual process
Manual test. Mm-hmm.
into automation process. How you are going to convert? By
I mean, you write test
creating the
scripts.
right, by creating the automation scripts using
Mm-hmm.
what? Using automation tools and validate the functionalities and
Of the
check the
application.
expected behaviors automatically. This is about automation testing.
Automation testing. Mm-hmm.
So we are going to learn using Selenium automation tool how we are going to convert the manual process into automation process for testing the functionalities automatically. So this is what we are going to learn in the entire Selenium course. That's it. Simple.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, what is the purpose of automation testing? When we are already doing manually the functionalities validations, why again we are going for automation?
Uh, uh, so, if there is a feature and we have to test it again and again,
Hmm.
we don't have to we don't want to repeat the manual test scenarios again and again. So
Yeah.
those are the scenarios which are perfect candidates for
Right.
automation testing. So
Right. That is reusability. Right.
correct.
So when you go for manual, we cannot make a reusability concept. We can only get recreating a recreation. So we
Correct.
can recreate the manual effort, but we cannot reuse the manual effort. So whereas when we convert this manual process into automation process, that automation process I can reuse it how many times I want it, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
automation we are going for reusability. That means that one time effort. Automation is one time effort. We're going to
Correct.
spend manual effort for creating it into automation script, right? And
Mm-hmm.
from the next time onwards, we are going to reuse the scripts without manually testing this. This is the purpose
Correct.
is reusability, right?
Correct.
That's the only one thing.
Mm-hmm.
What are the advantages you are going to get out of the automation that we did for the functionalities validations? It will
It will
reduce the
be
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's faster. You
Cost. Okay. Reduce manpower.
right,
As you said that faster feedback,
right,
accurate results. Right?
correct,
See, if I test it manually one time, I may get perfect result. I tested it perfectly. But second time, I may not test it perfectly. I'll not get the perfect results. But we are the one who created the automation scripts in a right process. So that process is not changing. Your results also accuracy will not change. But
correct.
manually, we may get it different accuracy results, which is
Makes
not
sense.
going to happen in automation. Right?
Hmm. Yeah, makes sense. Hmm.
So now here, let's see. So we did it. What is and why we are going for? What is the advantages? What exactly the automation is? In the market right now, we
Hmm.
have different automation tools available for functionalities, automation testing of an application. Like we have QTP or UFT, or we have Silk Test, we have rational tools, we have OpenQA, we have Sahi, we have Selenium, and so on. Now, out of the automation tools, we have chosen Selenium. Why? Why Selenium? Why not other tools? Why everybody is behind Selenium?
I think mainly because it's open source and
Okay,
uh, and
agree.
it's pretty easy to learn, and it can be run in any platform, any web browser. So
Okay, agree. Right. Let me do this. We can simply say that due to its features, what are all its features? We'll see now. We'll have a
mhm.
comparison of Selenium tool with other tool which is popular. Next popular tool. The next popular tool is QTP or UFT.
Qt. Mhm.
So I have a QTP here and UFT, and I'm going to compare with Selenium. So it is cost-based tool, right? We need to purchase the license in order to use this tool in a company.
Correct. Hmm.
It is a open source tool. So here, for suppose, for example, I want to purchase a license of QTP. It is going to take 4.5 to 5 lakhs per user per annum. So for 1 year, one user license to get it, it is going to take 4.5 to 5 lakhs in Indian INR.
Wow. Hmm.
So for 10 users, if the company wants 10 licenses, the company has to spend 50 lakhs per annum, which is a huge budget for some of the companies where they cannot able to bear it,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
obviously they'll go for open source, which is free, right? Then that
Hmm.
is one case. Now browser support. Here QTP supports only IE browsers, whereas UFT supports IE, FF,
Perfect.
and Google Chrome. Only these browsers,
Hmm.
whereas all browsers support any browser. It may be Safari, it may be OpenAra, it may be some other. Everything is supported.
Okay.
Platform dependent. It can only use for Windows. We can install QTP in Windows operating system. We cannot use it in Mac and Linux operating systems. It is platform independent. We can configure Selenium in any of the operating system. Okay. Supported languages.
Languages. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Only VB will support over there.
Mm.
Supported
Yeah.
languages. Java, C Sharp, Ruby,
Python.
Python, PHP, and Perl. These are all the languages that are supported, right? So all this. And now, out of this, customer support. Yes. Here,
It's
no.
no, right?
Because it's a freeware, but
Correct.
blocks are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Problems will solve through blog posting, right? Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Supports all application types. That means that it may be Windows application, web application, and mobile.
Oh,
Any
Selenium is.
application testing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas supports only
Web application.
application testing. So, but if they want to use it for Windows, they can go for Auto IT. It's a tool which is freeware tool used for Windows-based Windows functionalities, validations, automation, and mobile they can use for APM freeware tool. So this is a comparison. So out of the comparison, it's only even this is the one that is not there, but rest of the all out of 10, I can say you can say 9 are giving an advantages, the features, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
Right.
the reason. This due to all these features, Selenium is popular and using most of the testers for their automation testing. Okay, now
Mm-hmm.
what is Selenium now? Is Selenium an automation tool? Can we say is the tool an automation tool? I mean, is that Selenium an automation tool? Yes or no?
Uh, it's more like a framework, right? I mean, yeah,
It's
it is.
not a framework actually. It's not a
Okay.
framework.
So I think then yes, it is a automation tool.
Okay. Say no. It's not a tool. When I say it's a tool,
Uh,
it should have a GUI interface which we can install it and open it.
okay.
And
Oh,
it has
okay.
to provide an environment to create the script, to write the script, to execute it, right? But Selenium does not provide any one of this. It does not provide GUI interface. It does not provide an first of all, an environment to create the scripts, to debug the scripts, or run the script. So Selenium, when I say it is a set of components uses to automate the web-based application functionalities. So what are those set of components here? Selenium IDE, Selenium WebDriver. We have RC before that. We are not going to use it. And the
Okay.
Selenium grid. These are the components of the Selenium. When I say components, Selenium IDE, when it comes to the IDE, IDE is a plugin of the Firefox browser. So it will be like this. This is the IDE look and feel.
Okay.
We can record and playback. That means that the automation scripts, we can create it automatically. We no need to create the scripts manually here. The scripts can be created automatically using this recording option. Okay.
Okay. Mm.
Suppose I just put the ID in the recording mode. I am doing the operations related to the FB login functionality. So now it is going to create the respective automation scripts for the login functionality user operations automatically in the IDE. Let's see here. I'm doing this. Again. Now if I go to here, so it is created here.
Okay.
Okay, this is automation script. We can remove. Right. So, and the source code is HTML. It will be in
Okay.
HTML code. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I run this one, it is going to run by itself.
Okay.
Running. Right? It got executed. Okay. Now, so fine. It has its basic feature, but
Mm-hmm.
IDE is also not using in real scenarios right now due to its limitations. So, but in the course, we are going to see IDE in 4 to 5 sessions to get some of the basic concepts that we required to continue working on the next components of the Selenium. Okay. So, what are the limitations here of IDE? IDE can only be work in the Firefox browser only. Whereas, due to that, we cannot able to get this feature enabled. We cannot achieve this using IDE, right?
Hmm.
So we can record and we can play back the scripts in IDE from and through the Firefox browser. If the scripts created in IDE if you want to run it in the IE browser, it will not run it. We cannot run it even first, right? That is
Hmm.
one limitation. And it can only support HTML source code for creating the automation scripts and running the automation scripts. It does not support other languages to create and run it. That is another limitation in the IDE. And it does not have a supported environment to enhance this basic script created by implementing some logic statements using for loop statements, conditional statements, and other
Mm-hmm.
methods. Suppose I want to make this script to run multiple times with a different set of data. Like data is
Okay.
email ID and password. I need to test with different Facebook accounts. So
Mm-hmm.
I need to convert this constant into parameter, whereas variable, which parameterization concept I need to implement. I need to use some loop statements to iterate these statements that number of times. I need to put some conditional statement whether it is valid or not.
Mm-hmm.
All these things are to do enhancements. So to do all these things, there should be some supported environment to write the code to enhance
Mm-hmm.
the basic code with our different methods, syntaxes, and rules. That
Mm-hmm.
environment is not having in the IDE. So
ID.
due to these limitations, we are going for WebDriver, where WebDriver is a one which supports all the browsers, all the platforms, any application, anywhere we can test it. Any functionality can be automated, right? So
Okay.
before going to discuss the WebDriver, we should
Mm-hmm.
have a knowledge on core Java, okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we are going to cover either we'll start with Java course or we'll start with IDE. It depends, right? So, but
Mm-hmm.
before starting a WebDriver, we should have a discussion or we are going to learn the Java, right? In
Mm.
Java, what we are going to cover is core Java.
Okay.
So, core Java means here we are going to cover what is a Java first of all, what is a Java platform, right? That is in order to set up or in order to work with Java programming, what is the platform you need to set up? Every language it
Mm.
has its own platform, right? So
Mm-hmm.
JDK, JRE, JVM, all these
Data.
things how to set up the
Mm-hmm.
Java software. Then what is a Java program structure? Every program has its own structure, syntaxes, rules, and templates. So we're going to
Okay.
discuss that
Mm-hmm.
and the concepts now. We'll go to the basic concepts like what are data types. You might be aware of that already, integral,
Yeah.
float,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. Then we're going to discuss on local global variables. How can we
Mm-hmm.
declare the variable? right? Static, non-static, action specifiers, the
Correct.
operators like
Mm.
arithmetic,
Mm.
logical or relational operators, whatever it may be, right? We're going to
Mm-hmm.
discuss that, and we're going to discuss loop statements like for loop, while loop, all these things, conditional statements, switch case
Mm.
statements, string
Mm.
class, array class, right?
Mm.
One dimensional
Mm.
array, two dimensional array. So these are the basic topics that we cover under Java first, core Java. So
Okay.
all these concepts we'll have here in this, like this, with
Okay.
practical programming and assignments to you, right? So
Okay.
I'll explain the
Mm-hmm.
concept. I'll give you the. I'll explain it with a program, and I'll give the assignment on that.
Okay. Makes
Okay.
sense. Mm-hmm.
Now, whoops concepts. Once we cover the basic concepts, now we'll jump into the whoops concepts. So we have four main categories of whoops concepts: inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, and what is the
Polymorph
next?
Polymorphism.
Polymorphism. So if you go for polymorphism, we should have to learn method overriding, overloading.
Or
Comes under
yeah.
polymorphism. If you go
Mm.
for abstraction, we need to go for interface,
Interface.
right?
Mm. Mm.
Constructors, right? So we're going
Mm.
to see
Correct.
inheritance, method overloading, overriding, exceptions, constructors, interface,
Constructors.
exception handling, right? And
Mm.
collections, right?
Okay.
So these
Okay.
are all to cover here, right?
Mm.
So
Mm.
along with that, so we're going to cover so how to work with the database. So it's a pure Java database connectivity,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And we're going to
Mm.
see how to work with Excel workbooks, right?
Excel. Okay. Mm-hmm.
How to work with the text files, right? Generally,
Okay.
Excel workbook is a data sheet. It's a data source for us, input and output data. Text
Okay.
file is logs, your execution logs to capture and store it, write it.
Logs. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Database is
Mm.
again input sheet. These are all the external data sources, right? These are
Mm.
all the things which
Mm.
you cover in Java till now. So for Java only, we are going to spend some 15 hours. Purely
Okay.
50, maybe extend to 20 hours. It depends upon, right? So
Okay.
the minimum
Okay.
requirement for me to explain is maximum 15 days or 15 hours.
Okay.
So
15
till now,
hours.
Java 20 hours done. Now we'll start WebDriver.
Okay.
So WebDriver we are going to cover from the scratch. First of all, through WebDriver code, how can I open a browser? How can I open a Firefox browser? How can I open a IE browser? How can I open a Chrome browser? Once I open the browser, how can I access my application in that browser? Once the application is accessed through that browser, how I need to perform the operations on that browser through WebDriver coding. How what is
Mm.
the program statement I need to write to click on a button? How I need to write
Okay.
a program statement to enter the text in the text box? How
Mm.
I need to write a program to select an option in the drop down box, right? So the
Okay.
basic all these things, basic operations, how to do automate using the WebDriver concept component. I mean to say. Now we'll go for little bit advanced, like how to automate the operations related to some unique functionalities of an application, like giving an alerts to the user, how to handle that alert operations using automation code, how to handle the pop-up windows using the automation code, how to handle
Okay.
the frames, right? How to
Mm.
handle the page scrolls, that means up and downs, left and right? So
Okay.
how to write a program to capture the screenshot of your page if there is a failure in the page while the automation script is running, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how to write a program to automate the operations related to the file upload and file download, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So these are all the programs you're going to discuss in detail,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
right. So these are all the programs you're going to discuss like this, right?
Mm. Okay.
Okay, all these things. Now, some 10 to 15 programs we'll discuss where we're going to cover maximum regular or general functionalities that we are going to come across in all the respective applications, right?
Okay.
So which is going
Okay.
to take 10 hours for that, right?
10 hours.
10 hours. So it almost comes
Okay.
around 30 hours. Now
Mm-hmm.
we'll jump into the frameworks once we are
Okay.
done with it. So
Okay.
what is a framework? Why we need to why we need to have a framework here? So what is
Mm-hmm.
a TestNG framework? In that framework, we're going to discuss TestNG, data-driven,
Okay.
keyword-driven, and hybrid. These are the frameworks we are going to cover it. And
Okay.
so we're going to see finally Mavens. So how the project, instead of Java project, how I can make a project in Mavens using Mavens. What is a Maven first of all? Right. So here again, it will take some 5 to 6 hours for this frameworks.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So
Okay.
overall, your course will be 35 hours. Right.
Okay.
This is
Okay.
the expectation. It may extend to 40 hours. It depends upon. So which is
Mm-hmm.
going to, if we go for regular session, it will go for 1.5 months. Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
That is good. So everything will be practical here. There is no theory. Theory in the sense means 20% theory, 80% is practical.
Practical.
Right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So here, every day notes will send it at the end of the
Okay.
session. You will get the notes
Mm-hmm.
like this. Java first
Okay.
session, second session with programs, whatever we discussed it, right?
Okay.
Like
Okay.
this. So all you can see here, Selenium WebDriver session, second, third session, fourth, eighth, 10th, right? To all
Okay.
like this. Frameworks, data-driven framework, keyword-driven framework, grid, all this one. Okay.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. Sounds
So
good.
a material will
And
be provided for you. No need to worry about that. A copy, a soft copy, which is containing all these concepts within PPT will provide you, right? And you'll get
okay.
the recording of the sessions in online. So the Manoj will, and Ramesh or Manoj will record the session, and recording session will be saved on a daily basis to you. You can save it and you can play it back later whenever we want to listen the topic one more time. It's all. So,
Okay.
so this is what just a brief introduction about the Selenium and what we are providing to the candidates.
Okay.
Okay.